What does God look like? What do you see?
We're solar-powered biological AI.
Wait, what?
These ancient adversarial entities, I think it's the very same ones that rebelled against God and were cast out.
They were sent here to guide us in antiquity, and they took advantage of that and just masqueraded as gods.
I think you're muted. Can you hear me? I don't know. Can y'all hear me? Okay, you can hear me. Okay, cool. All right, guys, welcome to the Greypilled Podcast. I am your host. I will be taking over from here. Now, what is going on, guys? How's everybody doing on this fine Wednesday night or morning, depending on where you are in the world right now? Got Nephilim Hunter and RGZ Mac. Jason, what's up, guys? Oh, thank you. Yeah, this was a Sheen purchase. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Jules, man. We were talking. I could hear him just fine before we went live. And we went live. It went haywire. No, I still can't hear you, brother. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I could hear you fine. And then we went live, and it's like I can't hear you now. Oh, I heard you for a second, and then it went away. Yeah, you wiggled something a minute ago, and I heard you come through for like a split second. Spiritual warfare, guys. Got the enemy messing with the electronics tonight. They do not want us to talk about what we're going to be talking about tonight, y'all. That's so weird. Yeah, it's weird. That's for sure. Yeah, Nephilim Hunter said, wiggle those wires. I don't know what you done, but a minute ago when you leaned forward and done something, I heard you for like a split second and then it stopped. It was like, oh, yes.
Fuck me, dude. You good?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. I can edit that later. Guys, what's going on? No. Fuck this. Hold on.
What does God look like? What do you see?
We're solar powered biological AI.
Wait, what?
These ancient adversarial entities, I think it's the very same ones that rebelled against God and were cast out.
They were sent here to guide us in antiquity, and they took advantage of that and just masqueraded as gods. What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to the Greypilled Podcast. I am your host, Jules. Yeah, somebody said it's a little low now. Let's see if this will do any. You sound a little louder, guys? Sounds good?
Yep.
All right. I don't know what just happened. Rookie mistake. Yeah. Look, something happened to where it disconnected my mic, and my mic wasn't even showing up on there. But somehow, Doc, I don't know. I have no idea. Spiritual warfare, guys.
Yep.
Spiritual warfare. Yeah, welcome to the Greypilled Podcast, everybody. I am your host, Jules, the Mississippi Mystic, the sound scientist, here tonight with a friend of mine, a returning guest to the show, Mr. Doc Brown from the Prometheus Lens Podcast. Doc, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't take me up on the "What's up, Doc?"
What's up, Doc?
That's good to be back, Jules. Appreciate it. And we got scheduled for you to come into my house and rock my house here pretty soon too.
Yes, we do. Sometime in December, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
My levels are good, guys. Am I sounding okay? You need a call-in line, Jules. Yeah, I'm working on that, Maddie. I am working on that. Yeah, guys, what's going on? It's good to see everybody. Hey, Mac, am I still low? Audio's good. Okay, guys, awesome. Yeah, that completely. I don't know what just happened. But thank you, Doc, for sticking with me through the technical difficulties. Give me your phone number, Jules. Why, Maddie? No. Okay. We're gonna do a call-in number. I've been working on it, guys. I'm sending some sticker packs out this week. Before we get started, y'all be sure to like the stream, share it with all your friends. Let's get some more people in here. Yeah, let's see what shows we got this week. We have Dana Duda tomorrow night. I think that at the same time, 8:00, and then I'm going on the Paranoid American podcast Saturday night. Rustic Gods this weekend, and then Esoteric Book Review Saturday morning. Enuma Elish. You guys be sure to go over to patreon.com/greypilledpodcast and subscribe. One of my many tiers. Get a free sticker pack. I'm sending Trey, Tara, Ass Cream, and yeah, I got an ass butt and an ass cream, Doc. So I don't know what's wrong with some of these people. And I believe, who was it? It was someone else. It was a fourth person. Can't remember. But 4 people a sticker pack this week. So you guys be sure. Oh, how could I forget? Egregore Observation. What's up, dude? JJ Beckman, same guy. Good to see you guys. But anyway, yeah, that's thank you, Fire Pixie. Good to see you. Good to see you. Doc, what's going on, man? How was your day? You have a good Wednesday?
Yeah, pretty good, man. Like I said, it's just another day, another dollar on the grind. But I work 4s, so tomorrow is my Friday. So looking forward to that for sure.
That's awesome, dude. So, so you work what? Sunday through Thursday?
No, I work 4 12s.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
God, you're lucky.
Yeah, I enjoy those 3-day weekends, man.
I'm sorry, it's gonna give me a heart attack or something. Here we go. Okay. It's too much movement, man. Well, dude, you've been on the show once before. For people who don't know you, you want to give a little introduction about yourself and where they can find you?
Yeah, man. But yeah, my name is Justin. I kind of got the nickname Doc Brown. My show is the Prometheus Lens Podcast. You can get that anywhere you can devour content, Apple, YouTube, Spotify, all the things. Same thing with the social media. But me and Jules was kind of in the same vein. I like looking at cryptids, ancient lost civilizations, conspiracy theories, all those really cool, fascinating subjects of the Bible, and kind of filter it through, my biblical lens and my take on it, because I think that you can find the answers to a lot of this stuff right there in the Bible if you just got the proper lens, the Prometheus lens, to see it.
I love it, dude. I love it. So I mean, and I was obviously going to bring up your book, which you talk about Esau quite a bit, right?
Yeah, we've been on like a little bit of a book tour.
Yeah. You just did. I was going to say you just did some live events, right? For your book.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Sam. You had posted a picture of Sam Tripoli.
Mm-hmm.
You had a book.
I went to trying to think Bohemian Grove and met him there, and I spoke a couple times down there, and I give him a copy of the book. And John Pounders from Now You See TV, he invited me to Spiracy Con just a couple months back to speak, and I spoke about my book and had a vendor's table there and stuff. And this past weekend, I just got back from Ohio. I entered into my first film festival. So that was a pretty cool new experience. I submitted 3 of my videos, and two out of the 3 ended up winning. I got best video podcast and best audio podcast. So I got my first collection of little trophies, man.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
exciting, dude.
Yeah, it's fun. It's an experience, new experiences. That's what it's about.
Yeah, definitely.
And get to meet great people, honestly, I didn't realize it, but one of the people I met this weekend, her name was Joy, and we got to talking. I knew she was an actress and stuff, but she had escaped Scientology. She was in the Scientology for like 10 years and got out and found Christ. And she's like, yeah, I'd love to come on the show. And I started looking for her online and found her. But she's a big deal, dude, and I didn't even know it, but her name's Joy Villa. She's a musician, an actress, a filmmaker. She was that famous woman like 6 or 7 years ago that won a Grammy and wore that Trump flag as a dress. You remember that? Made the big news. Everybody was talking about. Yeah. That was her. So yeah, I mean, I got to rub elbows with somebody like that, but I had no idea at the time who I was talking to.
Right. Yeah, dude, that's always pretty exciting. Here it is. I was gonna pull it up. I should have had it already brought up earlier when I first talked about it. The Epic of Esau, and I've been meaning to order a copy, dude, but I do want you to sign it. So I don't know how I need to go about that.
Oh yeah, I'll get you a copy. I got a box, a big box here at the house. I on my website, PrometheusLensPodcast.com. You can get on there, and as long as you're in the States, I got my PayPal, Venmo, all the different cash apps on there. You can just PayPal me $25 with your address, and then I send you out a book, and I got custom bookmarks and sticker packs and all that kind of cool stuff that I send out.
Sticker packs.
Yeah, man.
I'm talking about sticker packs. I won't shut up.
I'm a sticker head, man. You should see some of my gear and my toolbox and stuff. It's got occult rejects. It's got broadcasting seeds. I mean, all my buddies.
Say thank you, Nick. Got my shirt and my stickers. Send me a bunch of stickers, so maybe some lucky Patreon people will get one and their sticker pack. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it, brother.
Free merch, Nick's awesome.
Man. Yeah, Nick's awesome.
Your intro, dude, with him, I think that's like iconic. We're solar powered biological AI, and you're like, whoa, wait, what?
Well, dude, it's like, when I met Nick, it was at a time in the show where I had him on, I had Micah Dank on. It was right after I had Esoteric Eddie on for the first time. So I started kind of shifting from talking about, like the Book of Enoch and the fallen angels to more of like ancient mystery schools and, occult symbolism and, these bunch of stuff. Right. And then I start doing occult rejects episodes and, here I am now.
Yeah, I love Nick. I've been on his that occult rejects a few times, and he sends me the links all the time. But it's just like with my full-time job and the way I work, I usually don't make it home till 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, and so it's hard to catch him.
Yeah, well, it was at a time where I quit doing Already Dead. I quit doing a couple other shows I was doing, really a few. I really wasn't doing anything. I was struggling to book Greypilled shows. And so Nick was inviting me to do occult reject shows. And yeah, man, like every time he'd invite me to be some topic that, I'd always want to talk about, and then I'd learn, I always learn something whenever I go. So I appreciate those guys for having me on for the conversation, man. That's what I'm here for. I'm just asking questions and hoping to find the answers, hoping to find the truth. It's man, it's pretty wild out there, right? Hey, I was gonna say, tell Raven that I love him. I know he started doing his other show, his solo show, right? He does at 9, I think. Guess he was doing it tonight. Was he doing it tonight? Or was that earlier? Okay. I thought y'all said that he had rated me. I was like, wait, nobody rated me. But yeah, dude, to be honest with you, learning about a lot of things that I have led me to develop my spiritual relationship further. You know what I mean? And the more I learn, like, I don't know, man, it's like things that I was kind of theorizing on a couple years ago when I first started podcasting, or when I was like, still researching a bunch, I don't know, man, stuff's kind of coming together. So, I don't know, dude, so you went on this was the book tour for the Epic of Esau. Did you, I don't know, did you reach any people with your research or your stuff?
Oh yeah. I mean, I was actually really surprised. I just released it in January, and I remember it's my first book, and I told some of my friends and family, I was like, if I sold 100 copies, dude, I would be tickled to death. And I sold like 100 copies the first week. It blew my mind. It surpassed 1,000 now. But I love going to those conferences, man, and the book tours, and just going around meeting new people, talking about it, and going to these conferences and connecting with people. It's a lot of fun. I really, really enjoy it. If I knew of more conferences, I'd be going to those constantly, because you get to connect with people that are like-minded, and you kind of feed off of each other. And like you said too, the more I study and research and find these things to comparative mythology or whatever. I just keep reaffirming my faith and stacking up puzzle pieces in my evidence file. And I don't know, it excites me. Call me a weird nerd, but it's like Indiana Jones. You know, I got that, and I got the Goonies map back here too. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like I got the Goonies treasure map, son, and I'm going after One-Eyed Willie. It excites me.
There's nothing wrong with being a nerd, dude. I nerd out about stuff all the time. Yeah, man. I got to start going to more, events like that. That'd be cool. Going to try and make Bro Grove this year. Yeah. Going to try. I need to tell them that I'm not coming and then just show up.
Yeah, bomb them. Which Nephilim Hunter, I seen in the chat, he said to explain it. Basically, in a nutshell, the Epic of Esau, I make the claim that Esau is what we would call today a Bigfoot. And I went off that of his birth in Genesis 25:25. It says the first one came out red, covered in hair from head to toe, like a hairy cloak. And so I was like, man, that sounds pretty squatchy to me. So I just kind of got to researching, and I found a bunch of his stories, just basically busted up through extra biblical books like Jasher and Lewis Ginsburg, Legends of the Jews, and finds out he kills Nimrod and steals the supernatural garments from the Garden of God. He marries into Nephilim giant clans and breeds with them. And he makes the Amalekites known as the blood lickers, and they're known shapeshifters and sorcerers. So it was pretty cool. It was just a 2-year deep dive.
Are those the same
Esau.
as the Canaanites?
Yeah, I mean, it's like an offshoot. You know, Canaanites kind of like a big umbrella term, but yeah, they was a member of a branch off of the Canaanites.
Okay. Yeah, I know last time we had talked a little bit about your book. And we talked a lot about the garment itself, and I think we linked it to the breastplate, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the priestly ephod.
What was it? The dream coat, right?
Oh yeah, Joseph's coat of many colors, because Ezekiel 28 talks about every precious stone was your covering, beryl, onyx, topaz. It names all these different stones, and yeah, that thing would definitely be multicolored for sure.
Yeah,
I think that's what
Canaanite.
Joseph was given.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, there's something about that, and hold on. Okay, sorry. Wait a minute. Let me close this out, dude. You know what it was earlier? I had the YouTube open. Maybe I did something, dude. I think I spazzed out earlier because like the sound was messed up. I don't know. Maybe I unplugged it, Doc. I'm sorry, man.
Oh no, you're good.
Here we go. Okay, man. It all makes sense now, guys. If you go watch the beginning of the show, I fucked up. Couldn't hear me, but that's my fault. Is there any other connections you've made towards that original garment, or I guess throughout the rest of the Bible?
Yeah, I think that we've seen them a couple times. I think we've seen them in the Noah's nakedness, because when you read that, it says that Ham uncovered his father's nakedness. In Leviticus, it says that to uncover thy father's nakedness is to sleep with thy father's wife. And that was an act of rebellion in the ancient world. Absalom, when he run off David, he slept with David's concubines. And then Reuben, to usurp the family dominant role, he slept with his father's concubine. So this was something that was, repeatable, and you can see it's what they did. The young bucks trying to take over the family or the leadership role. But in there it says they take, the English says they take a garment and walk backwards and cover their father's nakedness. But when you get into the original language, it's got a definite article assigned to it. It says they took the garment. And I talk about how that garment is basically the crown. It's the symbol of authority and priesthood. So I thought it was pretty cool that Ham trying to usurp basically the king and take the crown it was pretty fitting that the sons, his brothers, refused the rebellion and basically placed the crown back upon their father. And we mentioned Joseph. I think we see him there. Elijah, his mantle, when Elijah and Elijah go out and Elijah is taken up in a whirlwind, his mantle was left behind. And it says that Elijah takes the mantle and goes to the Jordan, and he slaps the Jordan River with it, in the river parts. So I think that was those garments too. And I think in the end of Revelation, we see him once again, because it says that when Christ shows up, he's got this beautiful mantle, and on the thigh of it says King of Kings, Lord of Lords, and that it's got blood stains, up to the bridle. I think that is the garments from the Garden of God, the symbol of kingship and priesthood and authority. And it kind of mirrors the story of Joseph. A lot of people don't realize, but the Jewish people thinks that there was two Messiahs. There's a Messiah, the conqueror, and the Messiah ben Yosef.
Yes, yeah,
Joseph.
Yeshua ben David and Yeshua ben Yosef, I think.
Yeah, so there was Jacob or Joseph with this same garment, and what happens when his brothers turn him over to Egypt? They rip the garment off of him, or they rip a piece off of it, but they said they dip it in blood and hand it back to their father and says, oh, this is all that's left of your son. So I think we see this, two messiahs shown, both wearing the same garment, both dipped in blood, but Christ is the returning conquering king with that garment.
Interesting. And where do you think, okay, we may have talked about this too. You're familiar with Melchizedek, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that that's where it was gifted from?
Yeah, I think when you look at like the order of Melchizedek,
or down from Adam, right? I think we may have talked about this already. I'm just trying to catch up.
Yeah, I believe it. When you get to Ezekiel 28, it's talking to the king of Tyre, but it changes and talks to Satan, the entity behind the king. And it says, you are in the garden of God, perfect in all your ways. Every precious stone was your covering. And it names all these stones. It's a photo Polaroid picture of the priestly ephod. And so it's painting Satan in this priestly role. And then it says, not only is it painting him as a priest, it says outright that he profaned his sanctuaries, and he was cast from the mountain of God as a profane thing. I theorized in the book that that's where Satan lost his position, and his priestly garments was taken from him. And that was the coverings given to Adam before he left, because Adam was given dominion over the earth. It was taken from Satan and given to mankind. And this is what they called the birthright. And this was the crown, basically. And it passed through the lineage of the chosen seed. And it tracks it. It went from Adam to Methuselah, Enoch, on down the line to Noah. Noah had them coming over the flood, and then Ham steals them.
Yeah,
His rebellion when he leaves, and that's kind of how Nimrod wound up with them. But yeah, it's all about the seed war, man. And these garments is the birthright it's basically the crown for the dominion of earth.
Well, the birthright thing is very interesting in Sumerian mythology. Whenever Enki
Tablets of Destiny, it's the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. So whenever Enki comes to Earth, chasing this exiled king, he brings these 50 heroes to Earth, and they terraform all this land. So it says, right? That's what it's describing. And he basically tells the rest of the Anunnaki, hey, there's plenty of stuff here that we can live lusciously, and there's people here,
Mm-hmm.
And Enlil, or El, some say Saturn, and Cronus as well. You see the similarities in a lot of the iconography, as well as these stories, dude. Because they come from different cultures and stuff, but when you find the similarities in them, it's like, okay, am I crazy, or is there something there?
Yeah, I
So
think there is.
yeah, well, so Enki was past his birthright, basically. It's weird. He came down to Earth and basically secured it for his family, their existence, and he was passed over. And Enlil was given reign of the Earth, which pissed off all of Enki's kids. And my
That's
co-host
Satan.
Adrian, what's up?
That's Satan. He lost dominion of the earth. It was given to his younger brother, mankind, and he was pissed off, and so he rebelled. And his children, as you talked about in that story, was his cohorts, the fallen angels that rebelled with him.
Well, yeah, you get into the story of Marduk or Marutuk. Very interesting character, very adversarial guy, right? I mean, they could have blamed Enki for almost everything, but it was Marduk that was the scapegoat. He was Azazel, right?
Mhm.
Like it's a clear connection of like it's the same guy, It's not. He's hanging out with this guy Semyaza, who's Semyaza's hard to do research on, because he's really only found in Semitic, Semitic text. But I think they're I'm going to do a little more research. I think there may be a comparison and maybe some other pantheons. But then again, I don't know. Some of these characters are only exclusive to these stories. But I think that's interesting because Enki and Enlil were actually, and this is my co-host of Elohim Etymology, Adrian West. This is what he wrote in his book from his research that he gathered, that they are stepbrothers. That Enki was this, more or less reptilian, from the serpent. He was an egg birth. He came from an egg of this queen mother of the Pleiades, Maya, who is, if you look into a lot of, I don't know, I don't know about pantheons, but some cultures you'll see that name, right? I mean, there's a people named after her, the Mayan people, and that's, you see that venerated over there, and that's Enki's side, that's his son Thoth. That you see the symbolism over there, that he took supposedly took the Olmecs and built the civilizations in South America, but the pyramids and everything with the serpent steps on them, but Anu, being the sky, the Anunnaki sky daddy, basically fostered Enki as a brokerage between these two, I think, maybe classes of angel.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
And
you see that with Loki.
Exactly, dude.
It's the same story over and over again throughout cultures. And I think it kind of stems back to the Tower of Babel. These are the same stories. It's just once the languages and the nations were divided amongst the sons of God, those same stories spread out with the people. But over time, the language changed. And, I know some people get upset, but I think the telephone game kind of happened. And the longer it was told, the caveats were added and little details were added. And it kind of got distorted a little bit, but that's why they're all so similar. They rhyme.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I haven't been really paying attention to the chat. What's going on? What are y'all talking about? Different families. Mother Mary to Catholics. Ishtar to Sumerians. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Headless Giant would say Tanit as well. That one, Tanit deity. It's a pretty interesting thing. That's at least this one deity that you see the elites kind of venerating a lot, who I equate to the goddess of the underworld. That's interesting, Neff Hunter. Yeah, Maddie, we're talking about there you go, Maddie. All right. Subliminal, what's up, man? It's good to see you here.
But I think you see them garments I mentioned earlier with Marduk and Kingu, because it's the tablets of destiny, and he fights and destroys Kingu when he takes them.
That
He basically
you're
says
talking
it's the
about
crown.
Tiamat.
Tiamat gave them to Kingu, and then he defeated her and Kingu and took the tablets. And he says in that epic of New Milish, he did not earn the tablets. He wasn't deserving of them, so he took them from him. And from his blood, humanity was created. So, I mean, once again, the seed war,
Yeah, well, Marduk was supposedly the first one to, I guess, elope with an Earth woman, and then all the rest kind of followed. They all went to attend the wedding and all grabbed them an Earth woman for themselves, supposedly. You know what I mean? And he was punished for that, but little did everyone else know that Enki had already been seeding, seeding these races here and there. You know what I mean? It talks about him pouring his seed into everything. Which is including his sister, which is the sister wife kind of thing that you see throughout all these other cultures as well. She really wasn't a sister though. She was more of his stepsister. Half sister, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, man, like you said, you see these similarities. And back to Melchizedek, if it wasn't for the priest class, basically the Zoroastrian mystery schools, the Hebrews apparently wouldn't have had a concept of I don't know, the whole describing the archangels and the demons and stuff, because they were in Persia with King Cyrus, right?
Oh, when they was in Babylon.
Yeah.
It was with Nebuchadnezzar, and then Cyrus overthrew Nebuchadnezzar and freedom, and yeah.
And so they were in, where Zoroastrianism was basically at that time. And as a mystery school, because in Judaism, they have their own mystery schools, you got the Kabbalah, you have the Zohar, you got all the Midrashic stuff, you know what I mean? And then you got the Talmud and all that shit as well. And so I don't know, man, there's like you said, there's some questions that you get to asking, and seems like some people don't, or I don't know, it makes some people uncomfortable maybe. And I don't know, some people don't like it, I guess. Yeah. But I mean, we're conspiracy theorists,
Yeah. And I'm a
realist. Not asking questions.
You don't think that all that time in Babylon, it influenced their thoughts and some of their mythology and things like that? I mean, for you to say outright no with confidence, I think that's pretty naive,
right?
And I upset some Christians. I mean, I'm a Christian, but like
me
I
too,
said,
Doc.
I'm a realist.
Talk about this,
and I tell people, I said, those people that want to say, the KJV only, and it's the divine inspired word of God, never changed, perfected for all eternity. I'm just kind of like, come on, guys. Throughout the scripture, we have so many references to cursing people who changes the word. Well, why is that warning there if it wasn't already being done? We look at the oldest manuscripts found, that story. It's a beautiful story, but the story of Jesus with the adulterer, those without sin cast the first stone, the oldest manuscripts, that's not there. That shows you that it was an addition. The Old Testament, when you get into Kings and Samuel, when it gets to telling of David, it says that one version says that Yahweh tempts David to do a census, and that he does it, and then God punishes him for it. Well, then the other book, you find it's been changed. They take Yahweh out and they insert the Hasatan. So now the Hasatan tempts David, and then Yahweh punishes him for it. So it's like a scribe seen that and was like, oh gosh, that makes Yahweh look bad. We're going to have to insert the devil here instead. And that's just a few off the top of my head. We see time and time again, there's changes being made. I think the overall story has been preserved.
Absolutely.
The fall, the redemption, the resurrection of Christ, all that stuff's been preserved, but the rest of it we can see through historical documents that it has been altered. It has had some changes. And I'm sorry, I'm not one of these guys that looks at the Bible like an automatic occult writing. There's a lot of Christians that's basically what they believe. They believe that the Spirit of God went into these people, their eyes rolled back in their head, and they picked up a pen, just started writing, didn't even know what they were doing. And boom, there it is. That's the word of God.
It took thousands of years to develop like the final, version. And
I think it's divine inspired. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I think God told them.
Yeah, man.
But they interpreted it and wrote it down how they seen it and what they thought it to mean.
From their point of view.
Yes.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And that makes perfect sense, right? It would be like that in any situation. And it's some common sense things that people tend to turn a blind eye to. And I'm kind of like, hey, we're not, we're just, when you make people uncomfortable, because people, and I'm beating a dead horse when I say this, ruthlessly beating a dead horse, but people fear what they do not understand, dude.
Yeah.
And if you fear something, how will you ever understand it?
Yeah. And I think
also
too,
fearing
people would
something gives, I'm sorry, dude.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, gives these things authority over you, right? Gives these spirits, these entities, whatever you want to call them, these powers, it gives them, I think, authority over you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And people can say, well, I'm saved. And it's like, well, are you resonating properly? Like, is your frequency, like, are you tuned in? I mean, it's weird to ask, and a lot of Christians don't want to get into the whole woo-woo of it, but it's true. The Holy Spirit is an energy that you connect with.
Yeah,
it's not something you just pull out of a book.
Yeah,
so you got to maintain that connection, and you start living in your lower nature, and before too long, people have attachments, right? People are spiritually attacked. They're spiritually oppressed. I think we know that happens. And
I think frequency, lower vibrations, all that kind of stuff is just different verbiage explaining the same thing. Because if you look at it in the Bible, all the sins and stuff, all these commandments, don't do this, don't do that. A lot of people want to look at it and be like, oh gosh, what a control freak. He's no fun. Well, I mean, any loving parent gives you rules because it's for your own good, to protect you. Don't play in the road. But when you're a kid, you're like, that's stupid. They just don't want me to have fun. But then you get older, look back, you're like, okay, now I know why they said that. It was for my, good. But when you break these laws, these commandments, you separate yourself from God. You weaken that connection. All these different things you do, it weakens that connection, or how the verbiage like you were using, it lowers your frequency or your vibration. Therefore, you are losing the strength of your connection with God.
Absolutely, dude. What I call people losing that divine spark inside of them. You know what I mean? And you got some people so attached to the material world that, it's like, could that spark eventually go out? Hence, the losing your soul or selling your soul, right? Like, there's the Faustian bargain idea that people willingly and knowingly trade their essence for some type of gain or benefit. But I think that people don't understand that. I think you're willingly giving yourself over to lesser deities, by succumbing to a lot of these societal standards. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. If you look at the Bible too, it's nothing but the Game of Thrones. People love that show.
I love this, dude. I found so much symbolism in the show since I watched it when it first the last few seasons, I picked it up. Like I started watching from the beginning then, because I wasn't aware of it before that. But anyway, I watched it again with my wife, and I was just like, wow.
Yep.
Holy shit.
All these different kings and these kingdoms are battling amongst themselves. Who's going to be the king? And you got 10, 12 people at the same time saying they're the king, and they're battling over territory and the realm. That's the Tower of Babel. A lot of people just look at that and say, oh, it was a tall building and God confused the languages. No, there's so much more to that. If you go and you look into Deuteronomy 32 and verse 8, it's a retelling of that same story, but it gives you a lot more detail. And it says that basically not only were the tongues divided, it says the peoples, the nations were divided amongst the B'nai Ha Elohim, the sons of God. So, and there's listed 70 nations. 70 is a number of totality. It means all. So basically these rebellious sons were like, we should get our inheritance now. We should get our birthright now. We can rule. We should do this. And they were presenting themselves to mankind and giving them knowledge and all this stuff. And they were worshiping them as God. So God's like, okay, I'll hand you over to them then. If you want to worship these other, lesser gods, I'll let them rule over you. But Israel, Jacob, is my allotted inheritance. And then he calls out Abraham right after this event. And he says, through your name, all nations shall be blessed. And that's what it is. It's a Game of Thrones. All these rebellious sons of God ruling unjustly, fighting over the dominion of earth and its inhabitants. And it's just a push and pull Game of Thrones. I mean, that's exactly what that is.
Well, one thing that I've noticed is that like these biblical prophecies and a lot of this stuff, has been used to manipulate, like has been used by certain people, right, to sway and manipulate, I think, people who read the Bible and Christians and Muslims and, like to kind of, war against each other, these ancient biblical wars, that certain, you could say a certain priest class is getting us to fight for them and has been for centuries, Yeah.
It's the rulers behind the fleshly rulers, the ones pulling the strings, whispering into the ears of the world leaders. I mean, you see it in Daniel 10. In there, Daniel's praying for, I think it was 21 days for God to reveal the meaning and interpret this dream for him. And he doesn't respond. And that's very uncommon, for Daniel. So he keeps fasting, keeps praying. Then finally, this angel shows up and is like, hey, Daniel, sorry. We heard your prayer from the first day. I've been trying to get to you for 21 days, but the king of Persia withstood me 21 days. And it wasn't until Michael, your prince, Deuteronomy 32, just like I was talking about, came to my aid that I was able to get free and deliver this message to you. And he delivers him the message and he says, but I must hurry back because the prince of Greece is on his way. So it's these fallen sons of God that were given dominion over territories and nations at Deuteronomy 32, the Tower of Babel. They're fighting amongst themselves in the spiritual realm. And that's exactly what you're seeing in Daniel 10.
Yeah. I mean, dude, people can chalk it up to one group of people, but when you really get into it, it's kind of a collective. And I've noticed this with researching and reading about the mystery schools. A lot of them were bastardized and subverted and, this whole, turned around and used for the whole pseudo satanic stuff. You know what I mean? This ancient symbolism that, to be honest with you, it used to mean something beautiful, now has been completely inverted. You know what I mean?
Swastika, prime example.
The swastika and the hexagram of Solomon, because let's be honest, bro. Like that's what that was used for was to invoke demons, right? That's what a hexagram is for. Well, to place hexes, but also you could, you could use a pentagram for the same thing and then turn it upside down and use the pentacle as a protection sigil. Most people don't know that. I don't suggest divinating in magic, but hey, there's a tip for you. But when you look at, especially reading Manly P. Hall, and you look at some of these treatises, the border of them is outlined by a sigil of Solomon and a hook cross, a swastika. And you're like, wait a minute. And you go looking back a little further into some other mystery cults, and you realize that both these symbols were used in tangent with each other. And that it was a very powerful symbol that a lot of cultures used,
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it's just that's one of the fascinating things about occult symbolism and researching that is that you uncover so much, and it seems to you dig deeper. You find a deeper truth, it seems, most of the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That esoteric truth that is not provided to us, not given to us like at first glance. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I watched my buddy John Lee Chowbeck had texted me. Shout out John, and he said, "Hey man, watch Under the Silver Lake. Have you seen that?"
Mm-mm.
Dude, doc. It's an A24 movie, and I know the theory about the curse.
Just like Merlin and the sword, the Lady of the Lake, and
no, dude, it's basically about like Egyptian ascension cults in Hollywood. Yeah, Andrew Garfield did it, and he's the main character, and he turns into this
Crowley shit
schizo conspiracy theorist, and he basically goes, what if they're telling us things, but it's only for certain people to understand, certain elite people.
Esoteric.
It's so funny them putting that out. It's like, you are those elite people, you asshole. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's acting, but it's just like the nerve. It's like, yeah, it's a documentary. Exactly. So me and John Lee, I think we're going to watch it on stream and kind of analyze it. So we'll be doing that soon. I'm doing the same thing with the Paranoid American. We're watching Sword in the Stone. We're going to break that down. It's going to be fun. That's going to be a Patreon episode, I think, guys. We're almost at the top of the hour. Be sure to hit that like button. You good to chill for another hour?
I probably got a good half hour in me. I'm an old man.
Yeah. That's good, dude. Whenever you need to go, brother.
Yeah. I was going to tell you how you are really into Melchizedek and the Order of Melchizedek, and Manly P. Hall. He wrote about the Order of Melchizedek, Fire Keeper, and
hey.
I've read it.
I think we mentioned this last time.
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah, the book we covered it on Esoteric Book Review, man. It's fascinating, and he begs the question, why isn't Christianity a mystery school? Yeah.
Well,
it's profound, kind of. It's like
Paul talks about it. He says, he calls it the great mystery, and then Jesus talked in all these parables, and the apostles even hung out with him. Asked him after he got done teaching, was like, Rabbi, what was this message about? Explain it to us. And they kept asking him that, and he finally got frustrated, and he tells them, he says, I speak in parables so the little children can understand. He said, but to you, the mysteries have been given, and you still don't understand. And when you get into the book of Proverbs, it says, it is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but it is the glory of kings to search things out. So, it's esoteric. There's mysteries involved. Now, salvation, that kind of stuff, it's so simple a child can understand, and it's I think it's made that way on purpose. But there is mysteries, there is little hidden gems and golden nuggets for those that go and dig through it and sift through. Will find them, because what does it say? And also in Proverbs it says, knock and the door will be open, seek and ye shall find, ask and it will be given unto you. So you have to be a seeker, man. You have to knock on doors and turn over some rocks and go digging, man. And that's why I love doing this stuff, because I find these little golden nuggets and treasures that connect all this other stuff in scripture. But what I was going to tell you about this with Melchizedek, I think you'll appreciate this and it'll blow your mind, I think, if you've not heard it already. But going back to Deuteronomy 32, the sons of God, Daniel 10, all that stuff that I kind of mentioned there earlier. Well, it says there that Michael, he says plainly to Daniel, he says, but Michael, your prince, came and aided me so I could get away. So he's saying that Israel's allotted portion from Deuteronomy 32, that God said, this is my portion. They're saying that Michael is the prince. So he's next in line under the king, right? And it says that Jacob is my allotted what? Inheritance. Well, who gets inheritances? Sons do, right? And Michael, when you go into the etymology of that name, it means the one who is like Yahweh. Now, a lot of people want to put a question mark beside of that. There is no punctuation. So those people want to be like, oh, they're asking, who is like Yahweh? Well, what if it's a statement? The one who is like Yahweh. The angel that God sent forward with Moses in the Exodus, because he said, I can't go with you wicked people. I'm going to end up killing you all. And Moses is like, oh, please, no, don't send us out alone. And he says, I will send forth my angel. He said, and my name is in him. Michael, the one who is like Yahweh, right? And according to Daniel 10, he is Israel's prince. And when you get to Melchizedek, I believe, is a pre-incarnate Christ.
Yeah,
okay?
that's the theory. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that Michael, the one who's like Yahweh, who is the prince, who according to the book of Revelation, when he ascends, he's at the right hand of the Father and he's crowned. The prince becomes the king, right? So I think that Michael is like Jesus before he came in the flesh, or it's like his warrior aspect, because it says that plainly that he is Israel's prince. His name means the one who is like Yahweh. There's only one like Yahweh. Jesus says, when you see me, you see the Father. If you've seen the Father, you've seen me. And then here's Melchizedek. When Abraham meets him, he breaks out what? The bread and the wine, just like Jesus does at the Last Supper. And I think it's the book of Hebrews. It says that Jesus was in the order of Melchizedek. And like Melchizedek, has no father or no mother, no beginning or no end. And Christ has become a priest forever. So it's basically reaffirming that scene in Revelation that I talked about, where he shows up wearing the garments from the garden of God.
Yeah.
And it's a priestly ephod. He is the king and priest of all creation, and he has dominion. I believe that's what he opens. I believe that's what the scroll is in Revelation, because they're crying, no one's worthy to open the scroll, they said. Right?
Yeah.
Well, what is this scroll? I believe it is the land deed to the dominion of earth. And he was the only one worthy enough to open it and reclaim dominion of the earth and be its king and priest forever. Paul said, we traded the truth for a lie. We worship the created things instead of the creator. So all that stuff, man, it's just a bunch of micro and meta narratives that's woven in there. And if you know what pieces to grab throughout all these different scrolls, they line up, flawlessly, man. It's a beautiful picture, but you got to go digging.
Yeah. Yeah. With most things, like we had just said. But yeah, dude, what do you think? Speaking of Moses, what do you think about Moses?
Yeah. What do you mean by that, like Moses?
I don't know. I just, there's many images of him depicted with horns, and he's in the desert, holding up the caduceus. And I don't know. There's the theories that he was an alchemist, right, coming from the land of Kemet.
Yeah,
he was in, I think, in the priest classes of the Egyptian mystery schools.
Oh, I mean, he had to have been. I mean, he was raised in the Pharaoh's family, so he was exposed to all the mysteries and things like that. But what's funny is that staff is part of the attire of the garments. When you get into the Jewish legends of the Jews, Ginsburg, the legends of the Jews and all this stuff. And I learned this from Zen Garcia, but it was part of the outfit. Basically, you had the staff and then you had the garment, and one was the symbol of priesthood and the other was the symbol for kingship. And they went together like a set. But at some point they got busted up because when Ham left, he knew the priesthood, or he knew the kingship was denied to him. So he stole the garments, which was the symbol for the priesthood. But when you get into Moses, I think, they painted him to be like a Messiah type figure. But once again, I think that they stacked up Jesus right beside of him, because the Jewish people upheld Moses in such high regard. And when Jesus came, I think he paralleled himself with Moses so everybody could see that he was like Moses, but he was better in every single way. Because look at some of the microcosms and similarities with their stories, right? Moses is born, a king gets a prophecy that someone important is born, so he must kill the firstborn males of all the Jews, right? So what happens? He's put into a basket, an ark in the original languages, the same word used for ark, and he is pushed down into Egypt, and he is saved from being murdered by a king by escaping into Egypt. Well, when Jesus is born, the wise men tell the king that a great king has been born today and we're out to find him. What does he do? He orders the firstborn Jew of all the households to be killed. Well, what do? They flee to Egypt to save Jesus's life, and he comes back when they're an adult. Well, Jesus, he gets baptized, right? And what happens? As soon as he gets out of the baptismal water, he goes into the wilderness and he's tempted for 40 days. Well, Moses, what happens when he went through the waters, the Red Sea, right? He went into the wilderness and was tempted by Satan for 40 years, but he failed where Jesus succeeded. So there's so many of these parallels where I think God, Jesus, was showing the unbelieving Jewish people that rejected him, hey, you hold Moses in such high regard, but look, I've done everything that he's done, but succeeded where he failed.
Yeah. Maddie had a question, I think, for you. Hey, Maddie, what was your question for Doc? Wanted to get to find a second where I could Moses also shown with horns and paintings. Yeah. The alchemical horns. That's the theory that I've kind of heard about.
Yeah. And that's a translational thing where people can, because Hebrew, you can have one word and it have 3 or 4 different meanings. So you have to kind of substitute and put in, which one sounds better, fits better. And that's another one of those things with the horns, because the other alternate translation is, I can't remember the exact word for it, so don't quote me on it, but I think it was like the Shana, or something like that. But basically a glowing aura.
You're talking about the Shekinah?
Like I said, I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it, but I know what
if
the word
you are,
meant was the glowing halo.
It's the flame, right? It's symbolized as the flame, I think. It's what
the Holy Spirit, the glow.
When the Jews go to the wall and they're doing the motion.
Shekinah.
Yeah, they're doing the I mean, let's be honest, it's a humping motion.
Sexual, yeah.
Yes. They are conjuring up a sexual energy. And dude, it's like that's one thing that it is really weird. You have these Hasidic Jews or these like rabbinical guys walking around practicing mysticism, it seems, in the open, just like kind of, they stand on the side of the road in New York and do the chicken over their head. You know what I mean? What do you think about all that, man?
I don't know. I've not looked into it, but I've seen like, YouTube shorts and things like that, people talking about that, how that's like a sexual kind of thing, how they're thrusting their hips forward and how that kind of goes back to like Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism type stuff. But I've never really like deep dived and looked into it, honestly.
Yeah, man, it's a rabbit hole, Doc. I'm not going to lie to you. You could even say rabbi hole. Where's that button? But dude, like, yeah, it's interesting, man. It's just but I don't know. I find a lot of stuff happening right now in the world, right? Over there in the Middle East, and like I kind of inferred earlier, they're trying to drag the U.S. back into these wars, and then if we don't help them, then it means we want to kill them, and it's just like, I don't know. I just I care about our country and where we are here. We have enough shit going on here, you know what I mean, that we need to focus on.
Yeah,
and
that ain't nothing but the seed war, dude. All over again.
That's
like I talked about in the book.
I said they use people's faith against them.
Mm-hmm. Esau, they said that he was a serpent seed. All the ancient writings and stuff point to that. And I'm a serpent seed guy. People, I heard my entire life that was bogus. It held no water. That cup held no water. So I just relied on people that I trusted when they said that, there wasn't nothing to it. But once I got to looking into it, man, I mean, it's right there, and it makes perfect sense. Once again, Hebrew language, multiple meanings. When you get in there, the garden, it says that Eve partook of this tree, and it says, and she ate. Well, that word ate in Hebrew, many times throughout the scripture, is translated to enjoys. So she partook of the tree and she enjoyed. And then she went to her husband and he too enjoyed. And then you look at the cause and effect, right? After she partakes of this tree, they cover their sexual reproductive organs. If you're a kid and your mom says, hey, no cookies before lunch, and you start sneaking cookies and she walks in, what are you going to do? You're going to cover your mouth. You know what I mean? Because that's where the sin is.
Probably.
That's where the transgression is. And then all the cursings. If you look throughout the Bible, the curse always correlates to the crime. And it's usually the exact opposite of what you're trying to achieve. Well, all the cursings were on sexual reproduction. It says, I will put enmity between her seed and thy seed. Talking to the serpent. It says, she will have painful menstruation. She will have great travail in labor, and her pain will be increased in labor. All the cursings relate to sexual reproduction. They covered their sexual reproductive organs. And then look at the kids, the names. When you get to Cain, it says that Cain's name in the etymology means acquired. What loving mother names their child acquired? And then Abel, his name, when you go to the etymology of that, it means breath. Well, why was he named breath? Because Adam, when he was created, it said he was a lifeless being until God breathed the breath of life into him, because he was Adam's son. He was in the similitude of his father, so he was named after his father. Cain was acquired by Adam.
Well,
And that's why later when he kills Abel, that's what it said, right? The curse, I'll put enmity between her seed and thy seed, the serpent. And then here comes Cain, kills Abel.
well, that's like what we talked about. I think the seed of Enki spread to Cain. In those stories, he calls it, they call Cain Cain. It's Kain.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Ka-in, like Kain, but and it's the same thing. I think the first time me and you talked, we talked about there, the possibility of when it talks about Adam, there being tribes of Adam.
It could very well be, because that word means humanity.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I take the position that there was two creations, because everybody tells me that when I was growing up, day 6, right? It says male and female, he created them. Let us make man in our image. That's plural language. I think that he's referring to the divine council there. But then after this, you get the story of Adam and Eve. And I've always been told, oh, that's just a retelling of this same story in more detail. Well, the only problem with that is we know male and female, he created them. This was on day 6. But when you get to this telling here of Adam's creation, it says Adam was created before there was any vegetation on the ground.
mm-hmm.
Vegetation was laid out in day 3, folks.
I was going to say, Mac pointed this out, Adamu. So in the mythologies in Sumeria, you have Adamu and Tiamat. And then you have Adapa and Titi, which was just mother of humanity or whatever. And Adapa becomes the first Sumerian king. But Adamu, born before him, was basically they were too smart for their own good. They couldn't, from what it says when Enki spread his seed or whatever, that this first tribe, they just kind of were here on Earth. So this is just another tribe of people, and you kind of don't hear about them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. You hear about Adapa, and then you get into Lalitu, the daughter of Rishkagal and Nergal, the god and goddess of the underworld of the Abzu. They become the rulers of the Abzu. But apparently Adapa was like a seafaring guy, and there's carvings of him with a bunch of fish, and he was presented with Lalitu as another marriage, another bloodline. What's the right word for it?
I think that was some people call him a pre-Adamite race. I don't take that point. I think Adam was the first. I think he was a member of that divine council. When it says, let us make man in our image, I think Adam was part of that. And that's why in Genesis, he helped name the animals, because he was helping with creation. He was getting to participate in it. But at their rebellion, they were kicked out. And that's those day 6 people were already out there. So it's kind of like, prison. You have the people that are in solitary, and then you have the general population. So
right
after a while, those people that were in isolation get thrown into the general population with the rest of the people. And I think that's where science talks about the Homo sapiens sapiens, the Denisovans, and all these, ancient peoples they find. I think that is the day 6 people. And when Adam and Eve screwed up, was kicked out, they were brought into the general population. And that's why Cain, when he kills Abel and he's cast out of the the family area. That's why he freaked out. Oh, they're going to kill me. They're going to kill me. Well, who? It's just you guys, right? No, there's day 6 people out there.
Yeah. Subliminal, did Adamu and then become the Ajiji? Who would have been they used them to toil in the mine. I don't, dude. We have to go back and read.
Yeah, the Ajiji, that was kind of like a very layman term for the gods, and then they divided them up. Part of them was in heaven, part of them was in the underworld, and
yeah, they had some of them here on Earth, and they all followed Marduk because he was their ruler, and then he and his father went to the moon, and Enki taught him there for many I think years. They stayed there, and Marduk basically told him, like, hey, you were skipped over, I'm not going to be skipped over, I'm going to go take what's mine, my birthright, and went and told his cousin Shamash, like, hey, shift's yours, bro, or whatever, like, and he Shamash later went he was the one that took them down to Mount Hermon finally, and they settled in the Cedar Mountains, right there on the border of Syria and Lebanon, right? Yeah. And Mount Hermon, there's a few names for it, but yeah, dude, that's one of the first things I got into was the Sumerian mythology, and you got to take it with a grain of salt because it's translations, right? Like you had Heiser, and then you had, Sitchin and Lawrence Gardner. I talked about this the other night, bunch of people, and so the truth I get from it is when I look at these other mythologies and I see these names and it's almost the exact name, same archetype, and then when you do take a look at like the family tree of it, you see it in the story. And like, yeah, he could have used the Pantheon to write that. It would have been easy. But some of the tales in the main story are just, so similar to these other ones. And we talked about earlier, that's kind of rebranded in all these different cultures.
Yeah.
Hey, Maddie. Okay. I'm pulling it up. Hey, Doc. So, Maddie, question. Okay. Finally, I'm going to pull. Oh, thank you for the $5 donation. Set up phone line, Jules. Okay. That $5 will go towards that. I don't know if I can have my phone by the mic. It may pick up the interference on
I think they got internet numbers now. You can go and get like an internet number and they call in.
Yeah. Can I do something where it picks up on my laptop?
Yep.
Okay. Then we'll do that, guys. We'll try to do it at least. Maddie, I don't know what your question was. I don't know what you have like 20 questions.
Pick one, Maddie. Pick one. Don't be greedy.
Not a bit rash. Nothing's too rash. Roll up. What are you talking about, Maddie? All right. I don't know. I guess I the fruits are not showing. Oh, I don't know who they're talking about. Oh, you're talking about Moses. I'm just glancing in the chat here. I haven't really been looking at it a lot. I'm trying to find her question. What about?
But you get those stories like you was talking about with Mount Hermon and all that and different cultures. You got like the Baal cycle. Baal had 70 sons, and
What about John and his garment?
John, I've heard that too. I've heard some people theorize that John might have had the supernatural garments from the Garden of God, but it was they described it as like a furry mantle or something like that. I actually did a show with Ben from End of the World News, and it's on my YouTube channel, and he actually touches on that in the episode I did with him. He said he thinks it's a possibility that could have been the garments.
Interesting. Well, there you go, Maddie. Was that the question? That wasn't the question, was it? No. Oh, the Greg Locke question. Oh.
Don't like
yeah,
I've been getting a lot of shit.
What about him, Maddie? What about Greg Locke?
Probably
Someone
because
who worships Israel as an entity.
I released an episode that I did with him a couple days ago, but I recorded that like four or 5 years ago.
Oh, really?
I'm re-releasing older
Interesting.
content that I did with my friends on a show I called the Dig Bible Podcast.
Has he changed quite a bit?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I mean, here's me, and I tell people, some people get all butt hurt, and they're like, I'm unsubscribing. Well, I mean, bye, Felicia.
Yeah,
I mean,
bye.
why take even time to tell me? Because
If you can't handle that truth,
exactly. And here's my thing is, I don't want weak-minded, closed-minded listeners. I mean, if all it takes, if you enjoy my show and there's 20, 30 episodes that you just love, but then I release one of somebody you don't like and I'm unsubscribing, you're a weak-minded person. I don't want you in my audience because I have a warning at the very beginning of my show to the Pharisees and Karens out there. You know, all guests do not share the opinions of the host, and I'm here to have interesting conversations. And you're not going to agree with all of them, but you got to learn. If you're an intelligent person, you have to learn to eat chicken. That means, yeah, there's a big bone in there. If you eat that bone, you're going to choke. You're not going to like the bone. Well, don't eat the bone. Eat the meat and then spit the bone out and throw it over your shoulder and keep going. I don't agree with everything Pastor Greg Locke is about. And my theology has changed since the past 4 or 5 years ago when I talked to him. But I will say this. One thing I admire, and crucify me if you want to, I'm speaking honest truth.
No, dude, you're
one thing I admire.
I'm telling you, you're in the right place to talk about whatever you want to. I mean,
what I admire about him is he's got balls. He's the only, I mean, there's a small handful, but most pastors are neutered. They have no testicular fortitude whatsoever. And that dude's got them. I mean, is he right on everything? No. Can he be a jerk? Yeah, possibly. He's a man. We're all flawed. But you don't have to guess what's on this guy's mind. He will tell you, and he will tell you bluntly. And I admire that. I mean, that's one of the things I admire about Donald Trump. Do I agree with everything Donald Trump says and does? No. But I love a man that is brave enough to be brutally honest, and he's got enough balls to tell you what he thinks and what he feels. Because there's so many men today, whether it's pastors, presidential candidates, or congressmen, whatever, are so manipulative, such liars, and tiptoe, and I don't want to say this because it's going to offend this person or that person, so it's like they've neuterized men today. So when I see a guy with a big set of cojones, I'm like, hey man, you're a dying breed.
Hey, apparently JJ Vance's stream just got nuked and shut down. Be careful. Thanks, Uncle Ted. I appreciate the warning. However, they're probably already watching. Yeah, dude, trust me. I have had people call me a Jesuit, a Hermeticist, a Rosicrucian, a Gnostic, a pagan. I refer to myself as a Christian mystic. My relationship with Christ is very mystical. I came to Christ and even reading the Bible through learning about the esoteric, and through the ancient civilizations, learning about, that symbolism that passed down and all that. Man, I have a, regardless of what people want to think, I have my own relationship with the Christ, the Christos, the Holy Spirit. And, if people want to say I don't, I guess that's their opinion,
And just like I said, even with you, I mean, people don't need to be weak-minded little puppets, man. I mean, be a strong-minded individual that makes up your own mind and makes your own decisions and search things out. Even like with you, your whole, mystic view. If someone doesn't agree with that with you, and then they just turn you off completely, don't listen to nothing else you got to say because they don't agree with you on this one thing, well, that's their loss because you have a lot of knowledge to give, brother. All of us got pieces. But it's
Absolutely.
those weak-minded people that hear the one thing. Nope, turn it off. Boycotting them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's your loss because, yeah, you might not agree with that one thing, but this person's got a basket full of gold nuggets and you missed out on all of them because you got butt hurt and got in your feelings and you were so weak-minded that you couldn't sift through the meat or the bones to get to the meat. You know what I mean? So that's what I try to tell everybody, even on my show. I'm like, have conversations, be open-minded, hear people out. If you don't agree with them, hey, throw that one over your shoulder because they might have 4 or 5 more nuggets that you agree with and that you'll never even hear because you turned them off as soon as you heard the one thing.
Yeah. Yep. And I don't know, man. I think turning a blind eye to some of these things is spiritually blinding yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Quite literally. I don't know. I think there's so much more that's kept from us, you know. And people want to say, you know, oh, it's for your own good, or you know. And I mean, yeah, there's knowledge that some people probably shouldn't know about because you get into the hands of the wrong person, they could become the next, you know. I don't know if they could become the next Crowley. You'd have to be groomed for generations for that probably. But, you know, the next like chaos magician, the next, you know, and I don't know, man, it could be a slippery slope, but it's how it's interpreted. You know, people grow up and they hear about this stuff and they you know, the satanic panic angle of it and all that, it induces this fear thing. And in a way, your brain, it's going to sound weird, but it's kind of like pornography in a way. It's like, even though you like may not want anything to do with it, same thing with drugs, you know, like your brain still wants that, you know what I mean? And so some people love the fear, you can call it fear porn, whatever. But I think, you know, that's when you look into, when you look into like the different elemental zones and the different ethers, you look into the mental zone being, or the mental, your mental being the highest, basically, out of all of those. And you know, emotions, fear being the strongest emotion, I think, but emotions affecting you harder than a lot of than you would probably know, dude. And perception is reality.
Yep.
You know,
and fight
so
or flight. I mean, anytime you have a conversation that's what I like to call a paradigm buster, one of two things is going to happen. You're going to either fight it tooth and nail because it's something that you've not heard before, or it's contradicting something you've been taught your whole life, or you're just going to, like I talked about earlier, you're going to turn it off and run away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got to be open-minded. You got to face your fears, face the dragon, slay the dragon. You know, that's kind of like I say in my show.
Dude, that's
hero's
great
journey.
You say that. I've
go
been,
into the unknown, slay the dragon, son, rescue the damsel, hoard up the treasure.
You know, that's the hero's journey, man. That's
Yeah.
also the journey. That's the esoteric journey of a knight. Is, you know, I've started to do a lot of research on this, and people know I'm on my the druids and you know, the Grail Kings and the Round Table and all those mysteries. I'm starting to get it, starting to research those, and you know, the knights were their own initiation school.
Mm-hmm.
Not only were they warriors, but they were philosophers, or you know, like these you know, maybe an alchemist, like maybe like but they had to go
Percival,
through
all that esoteric stuff in Percival, you know.
Yeah, Ceridwen's Cauldron, you know, Merlin, Arthur, and Galahad,
Lady of the Lake,
huh?
The Lady of the Lake, like I mentioned earlier, you know. Yeah.
Merlin, Arthur, and Galahad, like being part of like the like being similar to kind of like the Holy Trinity, you know. Arthur being the physical force, Merlin being kind of the connection to the spirit world, and Galahad being that the christened one, you know.
Yeah, and it's kind of like what do they call it? The hero's journey, the wise old sage that calls you to adventure. You know, that's kind of like Merlin. He's Gandalf the Grey to the Hobbit, calling him to adventure.
Merlin is, dude, his story's so cool. He was his mom was a nun, and his father was a sylph, a wind spirit. The wind spirit's having control of the mental realm, right? This is the same thing I think what would an angel would be, you know, tied into that, like into that realm. You know what I mean? These are elementals, obviously, that I'm speaking of, sylphs. But that's the lore behind it, you know, and that it's a fascinating legend. And that's why I'm doing like a Sword of a Stone deep dive soon, dude. Like we're gonna watch a bunch of stuff and hopefully learn a bunch of stuff, man.
Yeah, I was reading Uncle Ted in there. He's talking about all the astrology, man. I could do an entire like 2-hour episode just on astrology in the Bible. It's
I had
everywhere.
Micah Dank on, and he broke down like everything, the astrotheology, dude. And I was like,
yeah, I mean, it's the story of Christ is written in the stars, man.
What's crazy, Doc, is that people would deny that.
Oh yeah, that's just like, another affirmation.
Like, astrology's satanic, bro. And I'm like,
no. The Bible says the glory, the heavens declare the glory of God. It tells the story up in the stars. I mean, the 4 living creatures around the throne, that's the 4 cardinal points of the Babylonian zodiac. How they laid the camp out when they were in Exodus, there's specific instructions. It's a cross.
Yeah.
With the holiest of holies in the center, and the 4 tribes that are on the outside points of this cross. When you get to the blessings of Jacob, each one of those is compared to an animal. And once again, it's a mirrored image of the Babylonian zodiac. So on earth as it is in heaven, when Jesus said, look for the man carrying the pitcher of water. That was women carried the water. Men did not carry water. That would have been disgraceful in the ancient time. So it's talking about Aquarius. Find the man carrying the pitcher of water.
Another thing,
the age of Aquarius.
Yeah. Well, one other thing, dude. I mean, who was Enki? Who was he? He was Ea. He was the god of water, you know. And in like this esoteric school, you have the fireborn and the waterborn, you know. And it's just, and you know, the moon and the sun, the people that worship the moon and the people that worship the sun. And later these
water and spirit.
Cults.
Christ talked about the spirit was also compared to fire. He showed up in a burning bush and a consuming fire, a pillar of fire. He led him through the wilderness of Sinai. The spirit manifests many times as fire. And he says, you must be born of water and spirit, water and fire, symbolically.
Maddie, don't fear this stuff. You can still learn about it and know that it exists. And then know when the elites are using astrology to, you know, send us into war or to do a major like shutdown, right? Or a king kill ritual, or like, you know, like that's the point in teaching this stuff, Maddie. You know, I tell people they can come, you know, that's why I do the esoteric book reviews on the Patreon, you know, so I don't want to just put it out there. That's why, you know, the links are private after we do the live stream, is because people can come seek the knowledge. If they want to find it, they can pay a small fee to me, and, you know, they can join the Greypilled inner circle, which right now we have 33 members of the Patreon, guys. So Illuminati confirmed. I'm cooked.
And people don't understand either. It's like they get upset when they have to listen to ads, or they get upset because you put something behind a paywall. It's like these people have never run a podcast. This is a full-time job, guys. The 1 hour episode you see, you don't see the hours of editing. You don't see the, you know, 5-6 hours of reading and studying and taking notes and typing them out. Or if we got a guest, all the emails we got to, you know, send and set up for these guests to talk to you. The The camera that I'm talking to you now on, that's about a $3,000 camera. I have another $3,000 camera sitting right here. It's a Sony A7 IV. This teleprompter, the lights, this stuff's expensive, and we still give you a lot of this stuff for free, but you got to suffer through ads. So I get so aggravated now, dude. I get it all the time. Oh, the ads suck. I'm like, well, for $4 a month, you can skip the ads. Nobody's that broke. Homeless people come up with $4 a day, and none of y'all work for free, but they expect us podcasters to.
Yeah, well, I mean, dude, you subscribe to the Patreon, you get a free sticker pack, and someone said something like, "Don't you, pay for the sticker pack?" And I'm like, "No, you're paying for the content. The sticker pack's free." But I actually kind of love how small the audience on my Patreon is right now. It's great for the content that we're covering. And Tara, what's up, girl? It's good to see you. Send in your sticker pack this week. I got you. You can make 500 YouTube accounts and use YouTube Premium. Yeah. Speaking of that, I need to get another 200 subscribers, guys, so I can start getting super chats on YouTube. So
yeah,
Doc, I
pay the $20 a month to avoid the ads, so they ain't no better than me. They can either shell out the $20 a month like I do, or suffer through.
Well, I just paid for Rumble Premium, so But if we end up talking about anything else, we'll probably end up talking for another hour. And I know you have to get out of here, man.
Yeah, 5 a.m. comes early, bro.
Yes, it does. Tell people where they can find you, what you got coming, anything you want to plug, brother.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me. I love the
I am going back on your show in December. Just so y'all know, guys, yes. I'll be on Prometheus Lens. We'll have a whole another myriad of topics to discuss. So
yeah. But yeah, as far as the show, yeah, it's a Prometheus Lens Podcast, anywhere you can consume content, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, same thing with the social medias. The website is PrometheusLensPodcast.com. It's been newly renovated. Go check it out. It's got calendars, and you can watch the YouTube videos and listen to the podcast right there. You can sign up for my newsletter. By doing so, you get a code that gets you 30 days of ad-free listening for free, and you also get I think it's like the first 3 or 4.
This is the coolest fucking website ever.
Yeah. Pages of my book, so you get a free sampling of the book too. Are you gonna pull it up?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up. Hold on.
I'm pretty proud of it, man. My buddy Kyle, he done a good job with it.
You up with your boy Kyle, bro? I type like a grandma. Fuck y'all, I know, bro. I mean, dude. Oh, I just got hooked up. No homo, but dog, dude, that's beautiful, man. Beautiful website, brother.
Yeah, and there's like a pop-up that comes up too. I think once you scroll or something, but it tells you about the book, or it's supposed to.
Yeah,
pop-up blocker.
It did. Yeah, I thought it was something else.
Yeah,
dude, that's so cool.
But yeah, you can get the merch, t-shirts. You can watch the YouTube videos, listen to Apple, Spotify, all that cool stuff. But yeah, sign up for the newsletter, and that you'll get 30 days of ad-free listening and a sampling of the book. But you can get the book on the website, or you can get it on Amazon. It's $20 for the physical copy, 10 for the digital. And I have a newly released audio version. It's recorded in my voice. So you can get on Audible and actually have me read it to you if you'd like. So you can have this country twang read the Epic of Esau to you.
Well, you have a great voice, dude. I've been related to, especially Julia thinks I sound a lot like Matthew McConaughey. So I've been asked to say, all right. Many times in the last couple of years. Yeah, I want that hoodie, dude. It's a pretty cool hoodie. I don't see it on here, but I want it. So I'll be bugging you about that. But
what hoodie?
The one you got in the picture right there.
Oh yeah, it's down there. All the different designs I got, they all come.
Okay.
Once you scroll through, you can get it in T-shirt, and they got various colors,
Cool.
hoodies or sweaters. And
I'll have to talk to you about that, man. I've been thinking if I should just set up like a web store, like a merch store, if I should start building a website, But
yeah, that's linked through Bonfire, and it's actually hooked to
Bonfire.
my YouTube too. So when you go to my
Okay.
YouTube, when you're watching videos, it has my merch at the bottom, so you can go through. I got coffee mugs, T-shirts, hoodies, all the things. I just released a new shirt. Actually, it's pretty cool. I'm proud of it. It's got my new logo on the chest, and on the back, it's got an old plow on fire with a man walking away. And it says, I can't remember the verse now, but it's 1 Kings something another. But basically, it's burn your plow.
Yeah, dude. It's awesome, man. I didn't know you had merch. I definitely got to cop something from you, brother. No, never mind. Wrong. Thought I was sharing. Oh, it was another window. See, guys, I don't know what I'm doing. All right, man. Well, yeah, y'all go over and subscribe to Doc's channel. Go buy some stuff from him, guys. Buy his book, The Epic of Esau. I got to write it down. There you go. I would grift it if I had it sitting here. All right. Yeah, guys, tune in tomorrow night. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Dana from Rotting Jules will be on tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Central, guys. So an hour later than tonight. And then Friday night, we'll probably do Rustic Guides. If there's not an Occult Reject show, me and Headless will do Rustic Guides. We're doing the Phallic God. So y'all strap in. And yeah. I love doing Elohim etymology, talking about like the Sumerian pantheon, dude. But this Greek pantheon show with Headless, man, you're able to understand the archetypes of some of these entities kind of a lot more, and like from his point of view, it's just very interesting,
Hyperion, he was an interesting look.
Yeah, dude. No, I mean, we talked about Aristeas, we talked about Pan, we talked about the elemental spirit, the dryads and the naiads. We talked about Artemis and Chiron, the centaur. Yeah, man. Yeah. So and then Saturday morning, Enuma Elish on Esoteric Book Review, guys. Me, Season of the Rat, Subliminal Messenger, and Nick will be there probably, I'm sure. And yeah, that'll be on Patreon. And then let's see, Paranoid American Podcast, 4:30 Central on I think 4:30. It has to be 4:30 Saturday night. And then I think I'm going on the Divulgent podcast. I hope I didn't butcher their podcast name. I think. Do you know who those guys are?
Mm-mm.
They hit me up. I'm gonna go on. Then I got Tomcat coming on here in the next couple weeks. Let's see if I had it pulled up. Sorry, guys. The Veritas Road. Robbie Marks is going to be coming on. I had a swap cast with Cult of Conspiracy.
Man, they broke up, dude. I cried a little.
I had a swap cast scheduled for December 11th or 9th.
Jonathan left for Meta Mystics full time.
Well,
so it's Jacob and a girl. I can't remember her name now. Raven.
Oh, a girl Raven. We got
Yeah.
a boy and a girl. Too bad the boy is gay. Yeah, Raven knows he is. It's okay. We love him anyway. Guys, go follow me at Greypilled Pod on Twitter, Greypilled_podcast on Instagram, Rumble, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all that fun stuff. Greypilled Podcast. If you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Greypilled Podcast. You will get the Elohim etymologies dropping on there first when they start coming back. Esoteric book review, exclusive watch party, sticker packs, links to group chats in the Discord. And you get to become a part of the community, and it's a great way to support the show as well. I think whenever you guys donate, I always appreciate it. Thank you, Maddie, for your $5 donation. I will work on the phone lines. We will work on that. Hey, Xerox. What's up, dude? Women on a podcast? Yeah, who would have thought, man? Not like I have my wife on here ever.
What the hell is wrong with these people?
I know, dude.
Call the Women's Activist Center and demand.
I know, dude. I'm having a woman on tomorrow night. Like, I don't know what's up. But yeah, guys, thank y'all. Yeah, thanks, Clockwise. Appreciate you coming, brother. Yeah, thank all of y'all for coming and hanging out, guys. Hopefully I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Y'all tune in at 9:00, like I said. And next time y'all see Doc, I will go check him out on his show. But I will be on his show next time you see us together. So anyway, everybody have a good night and stay Greypilled.
Look, you're going to have to move fast. Conspiracy cards from Paranoid American are here.
Conspiracy cards, flip it, what's the deal? Conspiracy cards with that paranoid seal. Pack it, unwrap it, truth in these stacks. Flip one, flip two, get a few of these packs. Flip it up, what's next? Move fake, we flex. Bigfoot in the woods, stay lying, that's facts. MK Ultra, no cap. Every yacht 51 is a trap. Roswell crash, what's that?
You get the card and the sticker pack. You get the cards, you get stickers, you get
what's the
get it all, guys.
Conspiracy cards with that paranoid seal. Pack it, unwrap it, truth in these stacks. Flip one, flip two, get a few of these packs.
That's right. Conspiracy cards from Paranoid American. A set of over 200 cards featuring legendary conspiracy theorists, cult leaders, esoteric secrets, and more. For more details, visit conspiracycards.com today.